up, guys? Welcome back to Motos and Mullets. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new, welcome. You're about to have the time of your life, living vicariously through me. Because today, I'm out here just ripping. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you've seen this road before. It's just a nice curvy mountain road that I like to go have fun on because there's not very much traffic. And for those of you that don't know, I'll be meeting up with Riding Dad in North Carolina in July 5th through July 9th. So if you guys are in the area or you've been wanting to take a trip to Tail the Dragon, come hang out with us, ride with us. But anyway, so by the time we go on our trip, Riding Dad is going to have a whole new setup on his Lowrider S114. He's getting a full cam chest, full stage 2 from a performance shop near his house. Whoa! That's why we're out here practicing. But anyway, so he's getting full stage 2. He's going to have a lot more power than me. And we like to ride, you know, pretty fast. We don't get reckless, but we do like to ride aggressively and have fun. We've been riding together for a long time, so we know each other pretty well and how each other rides. But since he's going to have all this extra power, I need to practice so he doesn't leave me in the dust. So that's what we're out here doing, working on our body position. Because if you have a Harley that you like to have fun, rip the curves in, you know ground clearance is your biggest problem. So you have a few options to increase the ground clearance. You can jack the bike up, which I do have a Bun King extension on the rear shock. I think it lifts it up about 1.5 inches. Front is still stock for now. So that's one of your options. Jack the bike up with some new suspension. There's a couple kits that raise your mid controls up, so they're up higher to give you more ground clearance. And then the only, at least as far as I know, pretty much the only other option is start pretending like you're in MotoGP and get your body weight off the side of the bike. Because physics, you know, you get your weight off the side of the bike, then you don't have to lean the bike over as much. You have your weight helping the bike go around the curves. So it will help you not scrape your pegs as easily, which is what we're out here doing. Getting off the bike, getting around these curves. It just makes it feel more fun when you're doing that. You feel like you are a MotoGP racer. So that's what we're working on. And I'll give you guys a couple tips that help me, you know, take curves faster. Woo-wee! Hear that thing screaming. So obviously I'm not a professional. I just like to have fun on the curvy roads in West Virginia. So a couple tips that help me is, first thing, you have to be really comfortable with your bike and know your bike. Know your limits as a rider. You can ride aggressively and still be in control. You never want to be out of control and getting reckless. Another thing that helps me that I still need to work on is waiting for the curve. What I mean by that is, don't get over to the inside of the curve too early. Like you're all excited for a curve, so you get like right here, you're already on the inside at the beginning of the curve. That doesn't give you an optimal line. You want to think of it like you're racing. It's the best racing line around a curve is to straighten the curve out. So you go outside, inside, outside, and try to make it as straight as possible. So make sure you get into the curve before you get to the inside. Which that's a big problem that Caitlin has. I keep telling her she gets to the inside of the curve way too early. And I still do it sometimes too, but that will be a main thing. Just work on your lines. If you're really new, then you might not know this, but you need to do your braking before the curve. You never want to be coming into the curve too hot, then you're in the curve and have to brake really hard. That's not going to end well. So do your braking before the curve. Don't go to the inside too early. Fast rider through the curves doesn't always mean having the highest mile per hour. It's being smooth, having a good line. Let's see what else. I mean, that's really it. It's just the best way to be fast is to be in control of the bike, know your limits, know the bike's limits. And when you're practicing this stuff, like right now when I'm practicing my body position, you don't want to be riding as fast as possible. You never really want to be riding, you know, at your limits on the street. If you want to do that, you need to go to a track. Especially like when me and Chris go on this trip to Tail the Dragon, and the past few times I've gone to Tail the Dragon, I always take it easy there because you're on a motorcycle trip. You don't want to ruin the trip by wrecking or something like that. So when you're on the street, don't ever ride 100%, not even like 90%, because you never know what's going to happen. Animal could come out into the road, a car could be over the line when you come around a curve. You always need to have room for error. And another thing with practicing is know the road you're on, so you know what to expect. I've ridden this road a bunch of times. I know it really well. And before I turned the camera on, I took one trip up and down just to check the road out, make sure it was good to be doing stuff like this. Never want to be doing it on the road with a bunch of gravel or something like that. Like, not this curve, but the one right before here. I got over to the inside a little bit too early. And as you've heard, you're still gonna scrape your pegs. If you're on a Harley, you're gonna scrape the I don't know why I can't talk to you. you're gonna scrape the pegs. If you don't want to worry about that, then buy a sport bike, and you can go as fast as you want without scraping. But then when you're at Tail of Dragon, or any type of curvy road, and you're ripping it up on a Harley, it looks a lot cooler than ripping it up on a sport bike. So to recap, focus on your racing line. Make sure you have a good line around the curves. Do your braking before the curve. Accelerate out of the curve. You know your bike, know your limits, and just have fun. Get her going a little bit here for you guys. That'll get your blood flowing. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Had some fun ripping the curves with me. Maybe you learned a thing or two. Or if you guys have any tips for me on stuff that I can improve, let me know down in the comments. I'm always trying to get better, improving my skills. So, like I said, July 5th through July 9th, Riding Dad and me, Motos and Mullets, we're going to be ripping it up in North Carolina, Tennessee, maybe Georgia. We're going to be all over that area, ripping, having fun. Come hang out with us if you're in the area. Till the next one, let her eat, send it in deep. Peace.